Maraya Baya Melaya Cheje Gamboya Ba Tuzai Jaya Gwen Garaya Maya Ba Cheje Shonge Gaya Ba Te da ya ya sa so ya ya pa ya de ya ya jo pa so sa la ya ya sha ya che la ma ye be nya me jo go ya ya ta ya ya bo Palaya Lonje Sadaya Lonje Yende Ranzoene Doraje Jaye Goya Banyaran Thaisho Doraje Jaye Goya Banyaran Thaisho
Tenle Zarzan Renje Nyangen Chedong Nge Menla Shashanto Chache Menla Yongzo Zobai Dewara Jebai Jela Chate Tuje Gunla Nyambe Jamdende Tenzam Debe Ngende Dongen Doso Neze Zanje Menge La Bendura Yaye La Chate Sera Gundo Zeje Danyene Tabge Zame Shage Yongzonde Changsho Nimbe Lamge Karma Bae Mishe Debe Zodo Ome Jege Inge Bodano Dezon Zanje Gunge Ransem Jegorong Zon Denze Bae Zawe Lame Shala Gunjan Tazo Ndoye Lona Jelai Luje Gunge Jadane Shingdang Zere Damje Nangka Lejan Chege Dai Jinme Chebar Janjaroi Semjen Tham Derpegem Thangmala Tashi Delek Shuyedan Gongmo Delek Shuyedan Chapjikdo Tene Semjen Thamjigi Dondo Zobe Sangjigi Gobang Togo Yu Di Cherdo Ta Chue Nyingi Yu Nyambe Samba Jachewa Changjo Semgi Gunlo Ngondo Tangne Senra Nashi.
Good evening, Tashi Dele, everyone. Please listen to Dharma with the vast motivation of bodhicitta, thinking that I would like to become a Buddha in order to establish all sentient beings on the Buddhahood.
다들은 슈에디 되네 가장 상제 맨내기 되네 말람 전부 준이 답한디 되네 다 준이 나네 구인지 가장 든저미만라 슈타에 디나네다 말람 숨딜 하디요리 디 모티네 슈에.
So I am going to continue teaching on the Sutra of Medicine Buddha from last week. Out of 8 great aspiration, we have already done until the 10th, and we're going to do from 10 today.
디 첨보 말람 디 말람 첨보 주버니 강기테 더 마음베 뒤나 라나메바 양다버라 조베 장조 엄마로 도버라 상제바 디체 더 장줍 토바나 셈진 강수다 제일베 직베 딱바당 강다 징바당 셈진 강다 유바 라부터베 대바당 셈진 강다 다 고라 전당도 슈바당 셈진 라라네들이 녀바 쳔베 밤네 세파로요바 세파로요바 강다르 주당 강소 넘버 두메 근도 세바 세타 세밤 세완 쳔베 다 나르완 마젤당 절와 다 nga lumili jin kanzo de yin nyambe gi ta samba zamyang nga chil da ji de ji ma de yang me ba lu dang nga dang sem du dang namba gun do dungel gi nyen ba de da da gi sonam gi tu 네바 탐진레 용수 타로와 조르지 제 따보세 다 젤베기 네바 팀기 네바 지바 대달레 잡아를 되네 말람 잡아 제바레.
And to continue from last week, the 10th great aspiration, it says, in the future, when I become a Buddha, by attaining the perfect, complete, and unsurpassable enlightenment, by the power of my merit, may they, all those beings who are frightened from the fear of kings, who are bound, who are beaten, who are imprisoned, who are worthy to be executed, who are tortured by many causes, who have no arrogance, and their body, speech, and mind are being tortured by suffering, be completely free from all harms. And this is mainly praying for those who are being suffering and tortured by the law, and to be free from those kind of suffering.
Tene di melam chimbo chukchikbani gangite da maungbe duna lana mebara yang dabara zogbe janjo ngamara zogbara sangjeba di tse dab janjub toba na semjen gang suda jeba dang kombi me rabdo barwa da sadungi kanghenla tene tekumgi me rabdo barwa 카세 철월라 럽도 좀바 나 카세 다 사동 철월라 좀발라 되네 딕비 레제바 다 사동 마라발라 되네 셈젠 속제바 라소비 딕비기 레제바 되다 다 라라네 셈젠 기 속제바 그거네 딕비 레제바 라라네 마진발렘발라소비 거네 딕비 레제바 라라니 톡좀 라소비 거네다 디글레지바 대다기 다기 다 대다라 카세기 된데 디바사비기 셈젠 대다라 카도 다 카세 양 카도 레바 디 심바 로 자동 뎀벨라 소비 카세기 류 심벌 제데 치 되네 내가 카세기 류 심벌 제 치소 되네 최기를 신도 심벌 제네 되네 타르바당 탐제 김비기 고판기 때 원래 그 바로 저신네 말람 답아.
And his 11th great aspiration says, in the future, when I become a Buddha by attaining the perfect, complete, and unsurpassable enlightenment, I will make them temporarily happy with foods that possess color, smell, and taste. Those beings who are diligently looking for food because they are burning with the fire of hunger and thirsty. And subsequently, I will establish them to the great happiness with the taste of dharma. So what it means is, those people who are going through the suffering of hunger and thirsty, temporarily I may be able to satisfy them with whatever food they want, they wish for. Beautiful, tasty, and good smell and so forth. And subsequently or ultimately, may I be able to establish all of them to the happiness of Buddhahood, happiness of liberation.
되네 단단 알아서 다 파마돼서 되네 진 제시 되네 강서 파마돼서 되네 보고라 제와 제시 저거지 지기요래 이나양 파마돼서게 가식이 되네 다 가세 초와 정내 되네 랑고 마된 바도 되네 대버진 기버진 처정제약이 삼로당이요. 내래 다가 돼서기 되네 파마 딜레다가 되서기 다 지시 처리 버도 코 마시 버도 되네 대보는 기보스네 용액이 탑시 제기요래 대담마다 딜레라바 요 말이 되네 상제 되서기 되네 내가 되네 지시 처리 버도 마테베 더 도거기 종액이 되네 도시 말람낭 타르도 상제기 고방 마토기 버도는 되네 강소 내가 도거기 장방 잠마세 되네 타르도 상제기 고방 마토기 버도는 되네 대기네 대기를 줘야기 되네 강소 도지 말람낭 게요래 대말라 되네 파말레장 되네 강소 라마당 상제지도 거든체 생각서 티오에서 나나지다 세야기 좀 센터버지 되네.
And to continue the 11th, it says, those people who are hungry and thirsty, in order to get food, they engage in many different non-virtuous actions, such as killing or stealing and so forth. And because of that, they will have more suffering. Therefore, may I be able to give them food, whatever they want, good color, good taste, good smell, and so forth. And now, in our mundane life, we consider that our parents are the kindest, most kind person to us. So, the best person, the best parent will think about like our whole life, how to give us a good life. And then some parents only think about to help the children until they become able to stand on their own feet. They can until they become able to look after themselves and so forth. But Buddha, medicine Buddha, is praying for ultimate happiness until they become Buddha. So that is why it is a great aspiration.
되네 대신 쉐바 대 말람 첨부 주니 번니 관계대 더 마음비 뒤나 라나메바 양덕버 조배 장조 엄마로 조버 상제바 대체 더 장조 토바나 샘진 강수더 전모 울로 더 전모스나 괴메바 지름 울로 동엘로 다 괴메발라 되네 장외계리죠 차외계리죠 수라메반 되네 되나신 정부당 샤당다기 속책이 체와 인생도 동엘게 초로한용과 대달라 다기 그 용서 제파를 외바 그나다 가도래바 천 나촉수 가주로 딱 짐바를 저 가도 레바 레자 잠바 기 그에다 짐버죠 데 토버죠 쓰잖아 지더러 되바 신도 림보지 젠 나초바당 그런이 되바 강유바 나초바당 비바당 탱화당 뼈당 주바당 럴메 자당 실년당 태도바 남기 샘제 남기 삼바탐지 용서 조벌 줄지 제답바데 도르나 코랑라 다 강당 강대베기 유지 탐지 되네 토벌 줄지 짐벌 줄지 세네 말람 남바.
And the last one, the 12th great aspiration says, in the future, when I become a Buddha, by attaining the perfect, complete, and unsurpassed enlightenment, I will provide to them all the necessary provisions. Those who are naked, poor, and suffer days and nights by cold, heat, bees, and flies. These are bees and flies. In Tibetan, we have Tangbu and Shadang. So some people also translate it as mosquitoes also. Tangbu and Shadang one is I have seen some people translated as mosquitoes. So I have translated bees and flies. So anyway, it says, may all their wishes be accomplished just as they want, with the decoration of various precious ornaments, rosaries, incense, perfumes, and sound of different kind of musics. So this prayer is just praying to fulfill all sentient beings with whatever they want, with whatever they wishes for. So.
잠벨 좀 된데 대신 쉐고 더 좀바 양도 버려 조배 상지 맹게라 벤르레 여기 절보데 장조 선비 제바 제바나 mel람 침보 주니보 대다 따바르 줄도 잠벨 대신 쉐고 더 좀바 양도 버려 조배 상지 맹게라 벤르레 여기 절보데 mellam 강인바당 상지기 신기 연된 꾀바 강인바데네 kalbalel habaryang separar germany so da sanje menlege malam juni bodi dene ganzo dang ngeba to boji dang di le hakba meba to boji rebeze na di mare songdam da di ngarang zo duljegi wangdo jene kamwang meba dang timba jene juni zam songba ma do sanje menlegi menlam dang ziwa dang sanje menlegi shingamgi yenden sheba ina kalbane kalbe borde shenayang kalba zoya mado yenden di she zoya mebare tene sanje jumne.
And that completed the 12 great aspirations, and Buddha continued his conversation with Manjushri, calling his name. He says, Manjushri, these are the 12 great aspirations made by the medicine Buddha, Lazuli, Radiance Tathagata Arhat, the perfectly enlightened, when he was cultivating the Bodhisattva path, or when he was practicing on the Bodhisattva path. Manjushri, as to this great aspiration made by the medicine Buddha, which he was following the Bodhisattva path, as well as the merit, virtues, and adornments of his Buddha land, I cannot possibly describe them all, not even if I were to speak for an eon or more. So, when we say 12 great aspiration of medicine Buddha, if you ask, that's the all he had made? Then no, answer is not. This is only taught according to the capability or capacity of the students or people, but somehow, as Buddha said, if you have to speak all of them, then there is no enough time even if you speak for 1 eon or more.
yang da di melam ge chue ji ge do bu me gang la la bu zao yi du na du ngel ma rong ba ta bo me se ba nyong wa de chom den de de jin she ba ming ge la ben ru ya yu ge je bo de la chue ba phul na de nyur do yong so ta wa ju se da chue ba phul wa yin na yang da melam ta ba yin na yang da so luan ta ba yin na yang da di tene 강소 보고 제 마토바 이렇게 강엘 중나 상제 면을 소화 면을 담나 레르버 제 도베리这种样子的人不养养老용수 창화 자신 숙 성화 등 제바 등 다나도바 등 왕보 노화 등 로당 덴바 등내 매진 뇌바 용어를 주로 대라 미마인베 된긴 뇌배장 당 초벌은 민에서
So this sutra has a lot still, and we are just picking up some important teachings. So we are going from 52 to Tibetan number, page number 52 to 65. And then here it says, those women who are having great suffering of delivering babies, if you pray or you make offering or you supplicate to this medicine Buddha, then you'll be free of any suffering during delivery your kids or your babies or during giving birth to the babies. And then not only that, the baby which is going to be born will also have a good looking, perfect body, and then with sharp faculties, sharp mind, and then free of any illnesses, and then even these babies will be free from the harm of any evil spirits.
다 되나 다 동을 잡고 설랑 매바 예발라 때네 자외기 뒤 보고 자외기 뒤서 선의 송반마도 어마제나 보고 공부나라 예번에 송대 보고 공부나라 작번에 송대 되네 상제 면라라 쳐바부 상제 면라라 소한다바 이나 되네 마음바나 보고 깨위 값소 디난신 연된 탐제 창화 그래봐 자와라 강엘 매바 깨야라 강엘 매바당 직 되네 속상화당 제바당 따나도바당 되네 왕보 노와당 왕보 마창화 매바 탐제 왕보 창화당 되네 로드 리바당 덴바당 되네 류라 네메징 최강발라 녀바 융와 되네 미마임바 되게 녀바 미니바 디나신 창말람 다소 말람 담나 되는 보고 공부나 여바 잠라 소바 말람 담나 연된데서 더비에 인사를 담기도 디 강조다 보고 야보 용약이 되바 여긴데서 창마 디 게치만 저버지 더 삼는
So even the sutra says, while giving birth to baby, if you have a great pain, but I think ever since the baby is conceived in your womb, if you start praying or supplicating or making offering to this medicine Buddha, then I think you will receive all this kind of the result, which is described here. Says you will have no pain, no suffering when you are giving birth to the baby, and then baby will be perfectly well with health, mental and everything, good looking, and with sharp faculties, and then sharp mind, free of any illnesses, free of any harms from evil spirit, and so forth. So those of you who would like to have a good baby, I will recommend or suggest to do practice of medicine Buddha ever since the baby is conceived, right, Lama Zoba? Conceived, right? Yeah, conceived in your womb. Don't just wait until it is being born, but you start right away. As soon as baby is conceived in your womb, start right away to practice medicine Buddha. Then you will have this result.
당하랑도 파마 인의 송대 되네 강도 콤바나 보고 차네 송대 되네 레와디 요르와 다보 네 보고도 여보지 용나 네 보고 연된 첨보지 용나 네 보고 깨다 첨보지 용나 네 보고 왕보 마상와 매바 매버를 쇼지 왕보 창와 영성을 적 쇼지 네 보고 리버당 된바 로당 된바 개바지 용을 쇼 삼백이 다 파마 용서 적벌라 디 레와디 첨보디 여버리 대연당 되는 미팅시.
And I'm pretty sure that all parents have this hope of having a good baby, which means good looking, healthy, and well known or well liked, popular, and with high education and so forth. So I am sure all parents have their hope and their expectation for their baby in that way. Therefore, it is necessary for you or important for you to practice the medicine Buddha.
Tene tinashin chodinda magi jigbadang, negi jigbadang, tisulayanda, mazo jaja jadamba yichi kemadu, jaja jadamba soandam medu, da korandona sumba nashin, soandam medu mado soandam tumna, tene magi jigbada, negi jigba tamjeyang, tene digi shitugiri sungdo, di tela 가르쳐보지나 둔탁 니 링라 되네 소종 슈네 되네 초가 되네 상제기 맨레기 꾸샤네 딜라코라 잡스제네 되네제네 소아말람 담나 되네 마기지보다 내기지보다 소비지보다 다다 돌토기레스네 되네 솜.
And also Sutra says all the fear of war and epidemic will be pacified if you practice well. But since we don't have this kind of strong devotion and confidence, and also we don't put that much effort of practicing it, and it's not happening. So in order to do that, it says like for about a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you should take Sobjung vows, and then you should have a perfect mandala of medicine Buddha, which includes the statue of Buddha also, and then you pray and practice day and night, prostrating, supplicating, making offering, and so forth. So if we really have strong enough confidence and devotion to Him, and if we really make enough effort practicing it, then it is sure that everything can be pacified, such as the fear of war and fear of epidemic.
Tene da sanje menegi kanso 도의고르디 대가지 다 양선이 가서 초과되냐로 다디 미름 고르도 되듯이.
So since the sutra is very vast and profound, I think I will stop here about the sutra, otherwise there will be no end. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about the sadhana that we are going to use tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening we are practicing the medicine Buddha as a group practice.
Tene 당보 다 고축 고 마족베 고네 tene 셈게디다 당보 근롱디 계심으로 다 다리 지당 tene 셈젠 탐지기도 조베 상지기 고방 도파다 믹세기다 다리기 된 내기 지보는 동양 강에 대달을 돌려줘도 상지 맨레기 되네 냠len 대체도 상지 맨레기 냠len 제기 냠베기 다 근로 장주도 셈가바디 되네 원도 나다 뭐마제나 쇼베야 랑데네 디 셈게 되면도 조토바이나 되네 계지그레레 신도라양 되네 상제 맨레기 냠len 제비기 배윤디 공내 공별도 쪽에 수송만.
So tomorrow, before we start or begin the actual practice of medicine Buddha, our motivation is very important. So as generally speaking, of course, the bodhicitta, motivation of bodhicitta, thinking that I'm going to practice medicine Buddha in order to help all sentient beings attain the Buddhahood is in general, and particularly, and this time, we should have a strong sense of liberating all sentient beings from any kind of disease, and especially this COVID-19 or coronavirus, whatever you call it. We should have a very perfect and wholesome motivation before we start the practice. Actually, if you can have this kind of bodhicitta right after you wake up in the morning, then every moment you will accumulate merit, actually, if you can do that. If not, then at least before we start the sadhana, you should have this special motivation of bodhicitta.
Tene Nama Bekaze Maharaja Ye Sonam Yenden Jamzo Teranga Shin Samgi Meja Tuje Jinlaki Dove Dunge Dungwa Shide Bendoya Yela Solan Debsen Di 다 선대비양 세계를 갑갑을 주대비스 세계를 디 덤비기 갑 덤바다 미과디 가라고 문제는 상 토마 상제 맨라니 데네마 주비기 라마 다 랑기 랑소소 맨레기 왕가네슈 티가네슈 룽가네슈 디 자벨라메 바르기 라마담지 림바신도 되네 상제 맨레기 버도 되네 마랑소기 둥기 나거로 scenario 우주도 야스나 되네 림바신도 되네 쇼여바 요 쇼여 삼네 되네 다 레레신도 탈람람 셀투베데 칼레가 버리 있나요 되네 창마 랑게 자외라만에 상제 맨레게 버기 주베라마 탐지 탈람에 되나 쇼여 냠베기 메바지 이지미지 게토바죠.
So after that motivation of bodhicitta, then we will begin the sadhana, and then again, before the actual sadhana, we have something called supplication sometime, or sometime we call supplication of lineage. So which start with the Namo Bekhaze Maharajaye. Sonam Yunding Gyamso Terangashi. From here, the translation is available, so you can read by yourself. I don't have to do the English. When you do this one, then your visualization should be, you should think or visualize either in front of you in the space or on the top of your head. You should visualize Medicine Buddha first, then after that below him and until your root guru. In this case, your root guru is the one from whom you have received the instruction, the oral transmission, and the empowerment of this particular practice. That should be regarded as your root guru when you are practicing this one. Then from your root guru until the Medicine Buddha, you should think, visualize all the lineage gurus. And then of course it is not easy for you to visualize all of them very clearly, but it doesn't matter. You just think and you just think and wish and then believe, right? Believe that they are there. Then that's sufficient.
Tane digi da jude jubilamege tane migremjire da shung nongomado na namo konjosum zawasum jamne namla jabzonyo jogun sangjela ge jangje jodo semgeda se konjosum zawasum jamne namla jabzo che cigang bodigi jamro redo 당하랑서 잠로디다 택바공 탐지기 되는 망시 더버 자와더버 인상 되네 다 주베라마데서 등기나마 세찬이 다 잡일데서 어디서 잡수 안나고 근촉숨지 상제 최기는 근촉숨 긴 상제 최기는 디좀라 근촉숨 되네 라마 이담 칸도 숨데라 자와 숨세 다 디소양 되네 다 주베게 라마 디나라 마디바 메르와 다 디나 다 근적 자와 근적 숨나 자와 숨 탐제 등기나와 슈게 냠네 되네 잡수도 이제 대 근적 숨나 자와 숨기 전비 잡네 되는 다 소주르비기 근적 탐제라 되네 상제당 최당 긴든 어서베 촉주 뒤 촉주 뒤 숨기 뒤비 상제 장주서 마 탐지 라마 상제 탐제라 잡수치 다 잡도라 강선 다 지세 초에 버도 잡수도 인 삼나다 개보 중국이 잡도 시기요래 당아라 마시 버도 지세 초에 버도 건조스면 다당 잡아서 잡수도게 인 삼나 디개보 중국이 잡도 소샤요 다 뒤디네 드리네 손데 저배 상지기 고방 마토기 버르노니 건조숨 잡아숨 담절라 잡수도게 인 삼나디 다 대바 첨비기 개보 첨비기 점도 버르고지 시기요래 대인데 당 알아서 개보 첨부기 람 라청겐도 보인다 뒤디네서는 저배 상식이 고범마 되게 봐도 잡네 개남을 접수로기 담
So actually that visualization of Guru from your root Guru to medicine Buddha should be all until you're doing all this supplication, until the supplication is done, not just for the first stanzas, okay? So when you finish this, the supplication of lineage or Gudep in Tibetan, then we start the actual practice of the medicine Buddha. And then first line in Tibetan say, Namo Kunchu Sumdang Tsawa Sum Japne Namlai Japsu Che. So in English translation it says, Namo, I go for refuge to the three jewels and three roots, the sources of refuge. So again, the motivation, it makes different with the different motivation. If you take refuge of motivation saying that I'm taking refuge to three jewel and three root until my death of this life, or until the end of my life. In Tibetan we say means until as long as I'm alive. If directly translate the Tibetan word, means until as long as I'm alive, but which means until the end of this life. If you take refuge thinking that I'm taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and Guru, Deva, Dagini, until as long as I'm alive, that is something called the motivation of inferior individual. Again, we are talking about the three types of individuals here. So, and that is something we should not have. And then if you recite this same line, but with the motivation of thinking that I'm taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and Guru, Deva, and Dakinis until I become enlightened, or until I reach to the state of Buddhahood, then that is the Mahayana way of taking refuge. And that is what we should have. And this is also called the motivation of superior individual. So we are supposed to be practitioner of superior individual. Therefore, we should have that. And then again, as you know, three jewels is Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and three root is Guru, Deva, and Dakinis. And then the sources of refuge includes all those who are worthy to be taken refuge to, such as like protector, like wisdom protector, and also the Buddhas and Gurus and of the 10 directions and 3 triumphs and so forth. So these are all included here. Actually, out of the 3 roots, the Gurus are already included into the lineage Guru when we do the lineage supplication. And then here we have, when we do this supplication of the taking refuge, then you also have to visualize 3 roots and 3 jewels.
나 잡수 도그베 좀센 가르에서나 지르도 샘젠 함지기도 도베 상지기 고방 도베기 제도 잡수 도그 냠비기 미바지랑 그래서 다리 되네 내기 지바 다 점벌링 탐제라 되네 샘젠 탐제라 내기 지바 되다 봐요 대지발레 돌리기 저도 잡수 도그 대지발레 되네 건조숨기 잡으러지 잡제로지 잡나로지 잡즈네 되네 강소 미거 저거 전제지 거.
So again, in general, when we take refuge, the reason why we're taking refuge is in order to free all sentient beings from the suffering of samsara in general. And now, particularly, we have to think about liberating all sentient beings, including yourself, who is practicing, from this disease, which is all sentient beings all beings on the world are facing right now and being suffer by this disease. So we have to have this strong sense of motivation of liberating all sentient beings from this particular disease, and then we have to and then we should supplicate to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and Guru, Deva, and Dakinis to help us to liberate all sentient beings from this particular epidemic.
Then Drogun Sangye Lagoje Janju Chodo Semgido, Senatigi, Semgi, then Tekba Chijong Semgi Kebar, then Tekba Chimodon, Tekba Chungi Kebar the Gangi Chigiris, and then Semgi Chigi, the Euro, Tienzang, then Kandesi Chigiris and now, then Dang Rang. 코르오던 년성기 지발이기 타르야 체도 되네 강소 면례기 냠렌제바 지기의 담마이나 되네 디 대바 중국이 자기요리 다 냠렌데 상지 면례기 냠렌제나야 람디 강소 대바 중국이 람차기 대마인바 되네 조근 상제라 그 지르세 나다 샘젠 탐지 되네 코로나 연성기 직벌을 들네 상직이 고방 다르바는 탐지 고방로 고백이 체르도 네 상제 면례기 냠낸 제기 냠마도 학벌도 다리기 되네 나자단 강엘 딜레 돌레기 체르도 되네 상제 면례기 냠낸 제기 냠매기 강도 샘기디 고고.
And then second line, which reads, Rokun Sangye La Goechir Changchu Chodu Semketo in Tibetan. And translation says, in order to establish all beings in Buddhahood, generate a mind of supreme awakening. So as it says, the difference that makes difference between Mahayana and Hinayana is the engendering mind, semke. So what it means is, if you practice this particular the medicine Buddha with the motivation of liberating yourself only from the lower rim and from samsara, ultimately and relatively from this epidemic, and that is something we call the motivation of Hinayana, or the inferior vehicles. But if it doesn't matter, even you are practicing the medicine Buddha, but path become Hinayana, because you have a very narrow, limited motivation. But if you practice the same practice with the motivation of liberating all sentient beings, ultimately from the lower rims and samsara, and temporarily from this very epidemic, which we are facing right now, then it becomes the Mahayana path.
다디 제네마 슝디다 그런 차단디나 라이어바리 던다당 팅다 되네 신나마당 어저레레신 시야 두츠미 되네다 마 냠베기 미그림 데데 이슈나.
So I am not going to word by words, because the time is limited, and also you have a very good text of transliteration and translation both. So you can read by yourself and you can understand. But since it is important to have a correct visualization during the mantra recitation, I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
되네 다우든 토갈 홍라 ngakchengi korwar 줄세 다 라운던 딘기 상예면라 한이게 토갈 다와 된곰 다와 딘 다된 디땡도 되네 울라 홍 뭐지 뒤에 타고라든 대다운 배워도 마음 배워도라도 선문가 돼서 와서 고른 점니 되네 검디 ngakcheng 딜라 미버테네 되네 냠바 강소 사야.
So if you have the sadhana right now with you, please look at the page number 14, English page number 14, and the last line. It says, Dantun tukar hungla ngaktengi korwar gyur in Tibetan. The translation says, the hung in the heart of a self and front generation is surrounded by the mantra garland. So this is the first visualization that you should have while you are doing the mantra recitation. When you say Dandun, self-visualization and front visualization, we have two visualization in this practice. And then in the heart center of both self-visualization and visualization and front visualization, you should first visualize a moon disc in flat on which there is a hung in the color of blue. And that is surrounded by the mantra of Medicine Buddha, which is Tiyatha Om Bekaze Bekaze Maha Bekaze Ranja Samutgade Soha. And you should focus on that first.
Then ngemba da tendency ngakchen la mi ba tene ngemba sagi tene yang rangi thugle weser thinka tre da di ngakchen hongdang ngakchen de le weser ngomba tre thinka tre sharcho benru ya nang singhamsu da sangje menle gi singhamsu pa song weser de 좀된 menla shukbi thugar phok tene sharcho benru singhamna tene sangje menle gi thugar phok rangi weser de gi tene phokbala tene weser de gi tene kulma tobo chene ngwengi damja sangje menle loba lamgi ne gamso tene damja kare she yoba malam chimba juni 좀 전비기다 malam kare 답이 yoba 대조 차장 야 전비기 꿀마 저버지 대라 되네 어세를 벤루리에 가도 저버 양 어성원 뭐디 상지 면례기 도가네 주랑라 퇴 다당 송전 남기 류라팀 다 랑기 류라팀 디는진다 송전 다 송고야 잡고야기 심진 강당 강인바 대소라양 어서 퇴어서팀 내군 밤모를 인세를 폭들고 되네 상지 면례 두개 여서 폭발라 되네 단대 랑당 송자디두기 류라 나사당 강일 가르여 바대 탐지 되네 밤모를 님미여서 폭들 슈어능신 되네 내 탐지 슈네 다버고
And that is general visualization. We call ngaktin, focusing on ngaktin, which means the mantra rosary or mantra mala, because the mantra is, the hung is surrounded by a mantra just like a mala. So that's why we call ngaktin in Tibetan, which means the mantra rosary. And then after a while, you have to do more visualization, which says, then from your heart center, you send radiation of a blue light, and then to the eastern direction, to the pure land of Medicine Buddha, and then touch to the heart of the wisdom Medicine Buddha, which reside in his pure land, and then that reminds him all his previous commitment or aspiration, such as the 12 great aspiration and so forth, whatever he had made to benefit all sentient beings. And then the light comes back to you again in the color of labis lazuli, Benturia, and then touches to yourself and all those sentient beings who needs to be protected or who needs to be saved. And then they become free of all illness, sicknesses, epidemic, whatever you have. Just like when the morning sun shines, all the dew, right? Pamo, dew melts into water right away. Just like that. As soon as this blue color light that comes from the Medicine Buddha touches yourself and those sentient beings who need to be protected, Sungja, all their fear, sicknesses, be pacified right away, just like morning sun melts the dew into water.
Dene yang danda nyakap gi da kangel deso saya gi chedo la dene 듄게 남과 건배기 듄게기 상제 면례 도관에 다 어서 전화야 되기도 뒤지기 준 법을 저 당하란서 엉언들이 값서 도르지 sem바검네 집중 제반하신 되네 어서 그 남마다 뒤지기 남마디서 밤네 랑당 되네 강서 송자 semjen 진예지 예바 디수 탐지기 류라마 밤네 되네 다 디비기 제부 단다 네 디수 탐제되네 랑기르네 낙차기 철도 텐네 조와당 대나신 다리기 내부 똑 입신 디기 남바드도 되네 라소세기 상제 면례기 도안에 뒤지던 세바발라는 뒤서 차상마 진에 류네 치라 텐로하고 미바검네 되네 내 탐제 다바를 삼나디 제부 내 다베기 미바다보지 데 팽기면도 삼게도 다 된대지 겁나.
And again, you can change your visualization. You can again think in different way. While you are doing the mantra recitation, you can think in this way again. From the front visualization, either you can visualize coming a light, or just like a practice of Vajrasattva during the mantra, you can also think the stream of nectar coming down from his heart center and then dissolve into yourself and all those sentient beings who needs to be protected or saved. Then you can think all the sicknesses as a result of negative karma comes down all from your your body in the form of a pus and the blood and so forth. And especially during this time, you also can think that all those people who are affected with the coronavirus, all this virus comes down in the form of pus and blood, and then they are pacified and they become free of illnesses. If you visualize in that way, I think it will be very helpful.
다 주례당녀만 마다나 제부디다 도야리 칼라카버레 데인데 갑갑을 미바디양 상제면레기 뒤지기 준어서 바발라 때니 다 다리 네 디도 용야기 주조데 가레에서나 속제바레 라레 때니 되착 사야기 제도라 때니 속제 라레네 셰당기 거네 속제 라라네 레기 게디 준제 함마원 티무기 거네 속제 발라서베 데네 레 디솔라 때네 다리기 디기 강을 네디 용기여 바레 데인데 데네 가브레양 상제면레기 원네 베서던 디지준 번네 디 다리 네 디기 주 속제 발라 속베기 데네 레당 녀몽 탐제 데네 소소기 수번에만 되네 두크기 남바 낙차기 저거 되네 텐네 저 상제면레기 뒤 요새기 수보 장마 뛰네 되네 말한게 소소소 뭐 남미게 탐지기 수보디 셀기 부면나나 쇼로바 나신데는 장싱싱 차송 삼베된데 미버kom네 되네 주동 대부 동일 주 레당녀만나 대부 동일 내 탐지 다와를 삼나 디펜드오면서.
And also that was actually just working with the result, and then unless we work with the cause of this result, which is usually the cause is karma and klesha, then there is no end, we will have the result again. And then generally we believe it is said that the sicknesses is result of killing others or beating others. So we must have done all these things either out of three poisons, either out of anger or out of attachment or out of ignorance, not knowing the cause and result karma. Therefore, we have to purify the klesha and karma. Unless we do that, there will be no end again. Therefore, again, when you visualize the nectar comes from the medicine Buddha dissolved into it, now you you should think all these kleshas, karmas comes out of your body in the form of smoky water. Smoky water, smoke color water. And then your body become very clean, very transparent, like a glass vase, which is filled with the yogurt or curd. You say curd, right? We say yogurt in India. Anyway, sure. In Tibetan we say sure. So if a very clear the glass vase is filled with the milk or yogurt, then you know how it looks. So you just think your body become like that, very clean, and then filled with all these good qualities. And then I think if you do that visualization, I think that also be very helpful.
Tene tamango melam kapsoya chirdo tene semjen tamje rangshen semjen tamje zobe sangje gi kobang sangje mele gi kobang toba ro shosene ngo malana tene goso darigi ne gi naru gi semjen tamje ne digi tene dumel dangang le tolo shosene ta melam ngo melam.
So again, when we do the dedication and aspiration at the end of the practice, of course, again, in general, we should do the general dedication, thinking that may all sentient beings attain the state of medicine Buddhahood, medicine Buddha, and then I would like to dedicate my merit for that. And especially, particularly during this time, we should dedicate for those people who are being affected by this disease, the epidemic, to be free from that, and we should dedicate in that way. So today also we do practice of this Sangye Nedolma, and then at the end we will do the general dedication. During that dedication, you can also think in that way. Okay, that's all for tonight for talking. Now it's time to practice the Sangye Nedolma. If you have this text, please practice with us. Ranza donza chige gola jazon che o ma nam ga da nyambe semje nam lama sangye rinpo che la jazon che sangye che da gende nam la jazon che lama ye da khandra so la jazon che ranza donza chige gola jazon che o ya ma nam ga da nyambe semje nam je lama sangye rinpo che la jazon che sangye che da gende nam la jazon che lama ye da khandra so la jazon che ranza donza chige gola jazon che o mane be Oman bemo man 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 bemo oman bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo man oman bemo man 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 oman bemo man 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 oman bemo man 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 bemo oman bemo man 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 bemo oman bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo oman bemo man 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 oman bemo man 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 bemo oman bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo man oman bemo man oman beme awo le da lo bora kele jwa ye de da jombo te wa so semje ye me de ne na gwe je de ga so jora ma juro je da je me de be de ja she ge je la lo za da je be so do ne ge do ma je ne ba je de ga so jora ma juro Keda shinje khana zba taraya nege mezaya debe rajebe Ninje badaya dabe remzo ge luje galaya nebra manjureji Nebengere nonda jejo daya logra yedo sumya dojo Sheja da ye ne la zoba ye le je la ye se ora manjure le zende wa ya ma le do je be jong je do be do ma je ne ma le je je da do de ba da ya se re ne me de ge de ba Lama Gwajo Sangye Doje Daya Kando Jeja Somen Do Lende Loa Me Bedendo Ge Ngowa Mala Tabzen Do Barajo. Our general dedication. O sonam deye tamje se bai nye tone nye be rana bamje ye ga na je ba lo ro ba ye se be so le ro yo jambal ba wa je dren ke mo no kundo sam bo de ya de je de da genge je so da lo ge wa de da tam je ra do sang je ko so nye be je la che nye me jor de be je la do gen de me je de be je la je dara mo ya ma lo do bara yo. Trashy prayer. And she le ja le tele ma karma ba de dembe nyemon chodara wen jo ja je me ta ba ram pe pe ra